61. To Mr. E.T. Sturdy, 228 West, 39th Street, New York, 8th December 1895. Dear friend, after 10 days of a most tedious and rough voyage, I safely arrived in New York. My friends had already engaged some rooms at the above, where I am living now and intend to hold classes ere long. In the meanwhile, the Theosophists have been alarmed very much and are trying their best to hurt me, but they and their followers are of no consequence whatever. I went to see Mrs. Leggett and other friends, and they are as kind and enthusiastic as ever. Did you hear anything from India about the coming sannyasin? I will write later fuller particulars of the work here. Kindly convey my best love to Miss Muller and to Mrs. Sturdy and all the other friends, and kiss baby for me. Yours ever in the Sat, Vivekananda. 62. To Miss Josephine MacLeod, 228 West, 39th Street, New York, 8th December 1895. Dear Jojo, after 10 days of the most disastrous voyage I ever had, I arrived in New York. I was so sick for days together. After the clean and beautiful cities of Europe, New York appears very dirty and miserable. I am going to begin work next Monday. Your bundles have been safely delivered to the heavenly pair, as Alberta calls them. They are as usual very kind. Saw Mrs. and Mr. Salomon and other friends. By chance met Mrs. Peake at Mrs. Guernsey's, but yet have no news of Mrs. Rothenberger. Going with the birds of paradise to Ridgely this Christmas. Wish ever so much you were there. Had you a nice visit with Lady Isabel? Kindly give my love to all our friends and no oceans yourself. Excuse this short letter. I shall write bigger ones by the next. Ever yours in the Lord, Vivekananda. 63. To Mr. E.T. Sturdy, New York, 1895. The work here is going on splendidly. I have been working incessantly at 2 classes a day since my arrival. Tomorrow I go out of town with Mr. Leggett for a week's holiday. Did you know Madame Antoinette Sterling, one of your greatest singers? She is very much interested in the work. I have made over all the secular part of the work to a committee and am free from all that botheration. I have no aptitude for organizing. It nearly breaks me to pieces. What about the Narada Sutra? There will be a good sale of the book here, I'm sure. I have now taken up the Yoga Sutras and take them up one by one and go through all the commentators along with them. These talks are all taken down, and when completed will form the fullest annotated translation of Patanjali in English. Of course, it will be rather a big work. At Trubner's, I think there is an edition of Kurma Purana. The commentator, Vijnana Bhikshu, is continually quoting from that book. I have never seen the book myself. Will you kindly find time to go and see if in it there are some chapters on yoga? If so, will you kindly send me a copy? Also of the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, Shiva Samhita, and any other book on yoga? The originals, of course. I shall send you the money for them as soon as they arrive. Also a copy of Sankhya Karika of Ishwara Krishna by John Davies. Just now your letter reached along with Indian letters. The one man who is ready is ill. The others say that they cannot come over on the spur of the moment. So far it seems unlucky. I am sorry they could not come. What can be done? Things go slow in India. Ramanuja's theory is that the bound soul or jiva has its perfections entered into itself. When this perfection again evolves, it becomes free. The Advaitin declares both these to take place only in show. There was neither involution nor evolution. Both processes were maya, or apparent only. In the first place, the soul is not essentially a knowing being. Sachidananda is only an approximate definition, and Neti Neti is the essential definition. Schopenhauer got this idea of willing from the Buddhists. We have it also in Vasana or Trishna, Pali Tanha. We also admit that it is the cause of all manifestation, which are in their turn its effects. But being a cause, it must be a combination of the absolute and maya. Even knowledge, being a compound, cannot be the absolute itself, but it is the nearest approach to it and higher than vasana, conscious or unconscious. The absolute first becomes the mixture of knowledge, then in the second degree, that of will. If it be said that plants have no consciousness, that they are at best only unconscious wills, the answer is that even the unconscious plant will is a manifestation of the consciousness, not of the plant, but of the cosmos, the Mahat of the Sankhya philosophy. The Buddhist analysis of everything into will is imperfect, firstly because will is itself a compound, and secondly because consciousness or knowledge, which is a compound of the first degree, precedes it. Knowledge is action. First action, then reaction. When the mind perceives, then as the reaction, it wills. The will is in the mind, so it is absurd to say that will is the last analysis. Dawson is playing into the hands of the Darwinists, but evolution must be brought in accordance with the more exact science of physics, which can demonstrate that every evolution must be preceded by an involution. This being so, the evolution of the vasana or will must be preceded by the involution of the mahat or cosmic consciousness. There is no willing without knowing. How can we desire unless we know the object of desire? The apparent difficulty vanishes as soon as you divide knowledge also into subconscious and conscious. And why not? If will can be so treated, why not its father? Vivekananda. 64. To Mr. E.T. Sturdy, 228 West, 39th Street, New York, 16th December 1895. Blessed and beloved, all your letters reached by one mail today. Miss Muller also writes me one. She has read in the Indian Mirror that Swami Krishnananda is coming over to England. If that is so, he is the strongest man that I can get. The classes I had here were 6 in the week, besides a question class. The general attendance varies between 70 to 120. Besides, every Sunday I have a public lecture. The last month my lectures were in a small hall holding about 600, but 900 will come as a rule, 300 standing, and about 300 going off, not finding room. This week, therefore, I have a bigger hall with a capacity of holding 1200 people. There is no admission charged in these lectures, but a collection covers the rent. The newspapers have taken me up this week, and altogether I have stirred up New York considerably this year. If I could have remained here this summer and organized a summer place, the work would be going on sure foundations here. But as I intended to come over in May to England, I shall have to leave it unfinished. If, however, Krishnananda comes to England and you find him strong and able, and if you find the work in London will not be hurt by my absence this summer, I would rather be here this summer. Again, I'm afraid my health is breaking down under constant work. I want some rest. We are so unused to these Western methods, especially the keeping to time. I will leave you to decide all these. The Brahmavadin is going on here very satisfactorily. I have begun to write articles on Bhakti, also send them a monthly account of the work. Miss Muller wants to come to America. I do not know whether she will or not. Some friends here are publishing my Sunday lectures. I have sent you a few copies of the first one. I shall send you next mail a few of the next 2 lectures, and if you like them, I shall ask them to send you a number. Can you manage to get a few hundred copies sold in England? That will encourage them in publishing the subsequent ones. Next month I go to Detroit, then to Boston and Harvard University. Then I shall have a rest, and then I come to England, unless you think that things go on without me and with Krishnananda. Ever yours with love and blessings, Vivekananda. 65. To Swami Sharadananda, 228 West, 39th Street, New York, 23rd December 1895. Dear Sharath, your letter only made me sad. I see you have lost all enthusiasm. I know all of you, your powers and your limitations. I would not have called you to any task which you are incompetent to do. The only task I would have given you was to teach elementary Sanskrit, and with the help of dictionaries and other things assist S in his translations and teachings. I would have molded you to it. Anyone could have done as well, only a little smattering of Sanskrit was absolutely necessary. Well, everything is for the best. If it is the Lord's work, the right man for the right place will be forthcoming in the right time. None of you need feel disturbed. As for Sanyal, I don't care who takes money or not, but I have a strong hatred for child marriage. I have suffered terribly from it, and it is the great sin for which our nation has to suffer. As such, I would hate myself if I helped such a diabolical custom directly or indirectly. I wrote to you pretty plain about it, and Sanyal had no right to play a hoax upon me about his lawsuit and his attempts to become free. I am sorry for his playing tricks on me who have never done him any harm. This is the world. What good you do goes for nothing, but if you stop doing it, then Lord help you, you are counted as a rogue, isn't it? Emotional natures like mine are always preyed upon by relatives and friends. This world is merciless. This world is our friend when we are its slaves and no more. This world is broad enough for me. There will always be a corner found for me somewhere. If the people of India do not like me, there will be others who do. I must set my foot to the best of my ability upon this devilish custom of child marriage. No blame will entail on you. You keep at a safe distance if you are afraid. I'm sorry, very sorry I cannot have any partnership with such doings as getting husbands for babies. Lord help me, I never had and never will have. Think of the case of M. Babu. Did you ever meet a more cowardly or brutal one than that? I can kill the man who gets a husband for a baby. The upshot of the whole thing is, I want bold, daring, adventurous spirits to help me. Else I will work alone. I have a mission to fulfill. I will work it out alone. I do not care who comes or who goes. Sanyal is already done for by samsara. Beware, boy, that was all the advice I thought it my duty to give you. Of course, you are great folks now. My words will have no value with you, but I hope the time will come when you will see clearer, know better, and think other thoughts than you are now doing. Goodbye. I would not bother you any more, and all blessings go with you all. I am very glad I have been of some service to you sometimes if you think so. At least I am pleased with myself for having tried my best to discharge the duties laid on me by my Guru, and well done or ill, I am glad that I tried. So goodbye. Tell Sanyal that I am not at all angry with him, but I am sorry, very sorry. It is not the money that counts nothing, but the violation of a principle that pained me, and the trick he played on me. Goodbye to him also, and to you all. One chapter of my life is closed. Let others come in their due order. They will find me ready. You need not disturb yourselves at all about me. I want no help from any human being in any country. So goodbye. May the Lord bless you all forever and ever. Vivekananda. 66. To Mr. E. T. Sturdy, Ridgely Manor, 29th December 1895. Dear friend, by this time the copies of the lectures must have reached you. Hope they may be of some use. I think in the first place there are so many difficulties to overcome. In the second place, they think that they are fit for nothing. That is the national disease. Thirdly, they are afraid to face the winter at once. The Tibet man they don't think is a very strong man to work in England. Someone will come sooner or later. Yours in the Sat, Vivekananda. P.S. My Christmas greetings to all our friends, to Mrs. and Mr. Johnson, to Lady Margesson, Mrs. Clark, Miss Hawes, Miss Muller, Miss Steele, and all the rest. V. Kiss baby for me and bless him. My greetings to Mrs. Sturdy. We will work. Wah Guru ki Fateh. V. 67. To Miss Mary Hale, New York, 6th January, 1896. Dear sister, many thanks for your kind New Year's greetings. I am glad to learn you enjoyed your 6 weeks with the Esquire, although they be only golf playing. I have been in the midst of the genuine article in England. The English people received me with open arms, and I have very much toned down my ideas about the English race. First of all, I found that those fellows as Lund, etc., who came over from England to attack me were nowhere. Their existence is simply ignored by the English people. None but a person belonging to the English church is thought to be genteel. Again, some of the best men of England belonging to the English church and some of the highest in position and fame became my truest friends. This was quite another sort of experience from what I met in America, was it not? The English people laughed and laughed when I told them about my experience with the Presbyterians and other fanatics here, and my reception in hotels, etc. I also found at once the difference in culture and breeding between the two countries and came to understand why American girls go in shoals to be married to Europeans. Everyone was kind to me there, and I have left many noble friends of both sexes anxiously waiting my return in the spring. As to my work there, the Vedantic thought has already permeated the higher classes of England. Many people of education and rank, and amongst them not a few clergymen, told me that the conquest of Rome by Greece was being reenacted in England. There are two sorts of Englishmen who have lived in India, one consisting of those who hate everything Indian, but they are uneducated, the other to whom India is the holy land, its very air is holy, and they try to out-Herod Herod in their Hinduism. They are awful vegetarians, and they want to form a caste in England. Of course, the majority of the English people are firm believers in caste. I had 8 classes a week apart from public lectures, and they were so crowded that a good many people, even ladies of high rank, sat on the floor, and did not think anything of it. In England, I find strong minded men and women to take up the work and carry it forward with the peculiar English grip and energy. This year, my work in New York is going on splendidly. Mr. Leggett is a very rich man of New York and very much interested in me. The New Yorker has more steadiness than any other people in this country, so I have determined to make my center here. In this country, my teachings are thought to be queer by the Methodist and Presbyterian aristocracy. In England, it is the highest philosophy to the English church aristocracy. Moreover, those talks and gossips, so characteristic of the American woman, are almost unknown in England. The English woman is slow, but when she works up to an idea, she will have a hold on it sure, and they are regularly carrying on my work there and sending every week a report. Think of that. Here, as I go away for a week, everything falls to pieces. My love to all, to Sam and to yourself. May the Lord bless you ever and ever. Your affectionate brother, Vivekananda. 68. To Mr. E.T. Sturdy, 228 West, 39th Street, New York, 16th January 1896. Blessed and beloved, many thanks for the books. The Sankhya Karika is a very good book, and the Kurma Purana, though I do not find in it all expected, has a few verses on yoga. The words dropped in my last letter were Yoga Sutra, which I am translating with notes from various authorities. I want to incorporate the chapter in Kurma Purana in my notes. I have very enthusiastic accounts of your classes from Miss MacLeod. Mr. Galsworthy seems to be very much interested now. I have begun my Sunday lectures here and also the classes. Both are very enthusiastically received. I make them all free and take up a collection to pay the hall, etc. Last Sunday's lecture was very much appreciated and is in the press. I shall send you a few copies next week. It was the outline of our work. As my friends have engaged a stenographer, Goodwin, all these class lessons and public lectures are taken down. I intend to send you a copy of each. They may suggest you some ideas. My great want here is a strong man like you, possessing intellect and ability and love. In this nation of universal education, all seem to melt down into a mediocrity, and the few able are weighed down by the eternal money-making. I have a chance of getting a piece of land in the country and some buildings on it, plenty of trees and a river, to serve as a summer meditation resort. That of course requires a committee to look after it in my absence, as also the handling of money and printing and other matters. I have separated myself entirely from money questions, yet without it the movement cannot go on. So necessarily I have to make over everything executive to a committee, which will look after these things in my absence. Steady work is not in the line of the Americans. The only way they work is in a herd. So let them have it. As to the teaching part, my friends will go over this country from place to place, each one independent, and let them form independent circles. That is the easiest way to spread. Then, when there will be sufficient strength, we shall have yearly gatherings to concentrate our energies. The committee is entirely executive, and it is confined to New York alone. Ever yours with love and blessings, Vivekananda. 69. To Alasinga Perumal, 23rd January 1896. Dear Alasinga, by this time you must have got enough of matter on Bhakti from me. The last copy dated 21st December of Brahmavadin is in. I have been smelling something since the last few issues of the Brahmavadin. Are you going to join the Theosophists? This time you simply gave yourselves up. Why, you get in a notice of the Theosophist lectures in the body of your notes. Any suspicion of my connection with the Theosophists will spoil my work both in America and England, and well it may. They are thought by all people of sound mind to be wrong, and true it is that they are held so, and you know it full well. I am afraid you want to overreach me. You think you can get more subscribers in England by advertising Annie Besant? Fool that you are. I do not want to quarrel with the Theosophists, but my position is entirely ignoring them. Had they paid for the advertisement? Why should you go forward to advertise them? I shall get more than enough subscribers in England when I go next. Now I would have no traitors, I tell you plainly. I would not be played upon by any rogue. No hypocrisy with me. Hoist your flag and give public notice in your paper that you have given up all connections with me and join the camp of the Theosophists, or cease to have anything whatsoever to do with them. I give you very plain words indeed. I shall have one man only to follow me. but he must be true and faithful unto death. I do not care for success or no success. I am tired of this nonsense of preaching all over the world. Did any of Annie Besant's people come to my help when I was in England? Fudge! I must keep my movement pure, or I will have none. Yours, Vivekananda. P.S. Reply sharp your decision. I am very decided on this point. You ought to have told me so before, had your intentions been such from the very beginning. The Brahmavadin is for preaching Vedanta and not Theosophy. I almost lose my patience when I see these underhand dealings. This is the world. Those whom you love best and help most try to cheat you. V. 70. To Mr. E.T. Sturdy, 228 West, 39th Street, New York, 29th February, 1896. Blessed and beloved, I am coming before May if possible. You need not worry about that. The pamphlet was beautiful. The newspaper cuttings from here will be forwarded if we can get them. The books and pamphlets here have been got up this way. A committee was formed in New York. They paid all the expenses of stenographing and printing on condition the books will belong to them. So these pamphlets and books are theirs. One book, the Karma Yoga, has been already published. The Raja Yoga, a much bigger one, is in the course of publication. The Jnana Yoga may be published later on. These will be popular books, the language being that of talk, as you have seen already. I have purged everything that is objectionable, and they help me in getting up the books. The books are the property of this committee, of which Mrs. Oldbull is the principal backer, also Mrs. Leggett. It is only just that they should have the books as they paid all the expenses. There is no fear of the publishers meddling with them, as they are the publishers themselves. If any books come from India, please keep them. The stenographer, who is an Englishman named Goodwin, has become so interested in the work that I have now made him a brahmacharan, and he is going round with me, and we shall come over together to England. He will be very helpful as he has been always. Yours with all blessings, Vivekananda.